start here because I saw the kaki, and we call it kharma in Arabic. And I remember when I came to Berlin, like I remembered an incident where my brother had eaten it in winter, and we were like living in the fourth floor. It was very mushy, like our kaki is so mushy. So he just was like a really mischievous kid, and he took it and then threw it on our neighbors. And they had like white laundry on the line, and it was full of kaki, and we were going to the village, so we couldn't help them clean it. So it was super embarrassing. So since then I made like a connection with kaki and made it into my favorite fruit. But this year I haven't had it at all, because I'm like trying to detach myself from it in a way, like not bind my identity so much with, because I was also thinking, is it even my memory or like someone else's that I took out of context and made mine? Bike to the nearest area, and then I end up here mostly, or like in other areas, another like the borders of Reading kind of. I just felt like a difference, like I wouldn't stand out here. I was just like normal, and then I was the one trying to see myself in the eyes of others. Like I would be staring at them rather than Germans staring at me. That usually happens in Pankow, where like I feel like they try to guess what I am, or like they just have a straight face. While here I come to like look for people who look like me, and then I end up staring at them and they're like surprised, like why are you looking at us? Seeing like old ladies passing and like the sun and their hair and everything, I'm thinking I want to capture that for me. But then they would just pass, and yeah, I wonder if like this sense of identity, like how to find it through someone else. You know the baby spinach they have in Rewe? That was like such a shock experience. Like I didn't know it was spinach. I don't know if you like have that, but that's like the one we use at home, not the baby leaves. And someone wants to get. When I was young, I used to eat this with a spoon, like the powdered milk. Like my grandma had a huge bowl with like a lot of powdered milk from this brand, and I would just be sneaky and like eating it without her knowing. And it's super good. I still like it because it has products from our area. Like everything reminds me of something I used to have at home. Also, my mom like always shops at the Middle Eastern shop in Germany also, so like a reconnection. But I usually don't buy things. Like all of the things I see, I make a memory, but I don't end up buying it. Stories about honey being healthy, but it was very expensive, so it would be also like hidden in the closet, and then like you would get like 1 spoon a day or something. So I just like think about these things when I walk around, but I don't feel the need to like buy this, for example, or any of this. Yeah, here we can. Every time I look at the okra, and I look at the I think fava beans they're called, because I don't like okra to be tasty. It needs to be made with meat, or it needs to be made with patience at least, and I don't have that because I'm always really impatient when I'm making something for myself. But in Senegal, I was seen as a white person, so there was a word for like white people called tubab, so I would be called tubab everywhere I went. So it was a huge identity crisis because I'm not European, but everybody thought I was like French just because I'm light skinned. But at the same time, I didn't fit the stereotype of being white, so like I received a lot of negative comments about like how my nose looks, how my hair looks. So, and I was young and fragile at the time, so I took it really personally. And yeah, I think it didn't sit well with me that I was seen as a person who I'm not, but also who I have like a story about power and domination with, because like Syria was also colonized by France, so it was really difficult for me to be seen as a white person, and especially French, like the association. And also to be seen as rich, even though I was there on a scholarship. But at the same time, like I realized that I still could go there, so it was a choice in some way. Even though the money was not my own, it became mine by receiving it. So I get a brand called Cantu, but it's very heavy for my hair, so I always mix it with water and gel to make it suit my hair type. But honestly, it's always like they're very expensive, but nothing works out for my hair. So I always try to avoid this section because I'm gonna end up buying things I don't. Because we always use gel in Syria for curly hair, but I never found good gel, but this one was good. Like I felt I had my mom's hair when I had it, when I put it in my hair. So it's good. Because my mom like used to make sandwiches with tomato paste and za'atar when she was young. And then once I heard the story, I just, similar to the kaki situation, I developed the story about tomato paste being something I like, so I started over-consuming tomato paste, which is not the best thing, like not spooning tomato paste, you know? Did you know that Germany banned Palestinian activism? Like they labeled it as anti-Zionist? So now it's like criminalized.
Really?
Yeah. Even I, like when I'm wearing my kufiyya, I'm like cautious because I don't know if I'm gonna be like, if that's also considered illegal or like anti-Zionist, anti-Semitism. So like my first romantic place I went to was like a rooftop here in this neighborhood. But I don't know where it was. Like I was, I went on a date with a guy who was like a graffiti artist, and he knows a lot of like secret entrances and stuff. And he took me to a building where he knew that the door doesn't close. So like we went to the rooftop and saw the city from up there, and it was just like my first week in Berlin or something. So,
Why did you say your dad doesn't like this street?
He's very, I think he has a colonial mindset. Like he thinks West is best. And he looks down on things that are related to like us and our culture. Like that's why my name is Christine and not some Arab name. Because he thinks like Christianity is better than Islam. Like he takes pride in me speaking English, but he doesn't understand that it's also a loss for me that I'm unable to write in Arabic, for example. Yeah, so I dreamed that I was hiking in a place that looks like somewhere I went to in Senegal, in the south of Senegal. It's called Kédougou. There are a lot of cliffs and greens and trees. And I have this recurring theme in my dreams that I'm running away. So I was running away, and I think I was running away from like collaborating with Raz. So I saw Raz at the edge of the cliff, surprisingly, and I arrived at the moment when he's about to start the performance, the literary performance or translation, and the theme was about his dad. And I hear him saying, yeah, like part of this performance is done in Arabic, so if someone speaks it, they will be able to partake in it. So I felt like he was addressing me, but I didn't want to partake. So I left and like went somewhere else. And the reason I mentioned LSD is because I remember seeing that the cliff and where like Raz was sitting, like the sunset was behind him, and it just looked like what the lady described in the video about LSD. So it was very beautiful. I could see like every single particle. It was blue and purple. Or maybe I'm describing colors in it now. I don't know. Yeah, and then I ran away and I ended up at an election room where I am for the first time able to partake in like elections. But at the same time, like my abilities to elect are doubted. So after they give me the right to like make my vote, they decide to take it away from me, and I'm surprised and like I resist for the first time. I don't usually like resist such instances. I usually like think about it in retrospect. I should have done that. I should have done that. But in the dream, I refused to take away like how do you call them, ballots? They were like snatched from my hands, but I refused to give them away. And I questioned like why would you doubt that I'm eligible to vote? And they're like, it's because you showed up with an air of insecurity, so we felt it. And we decided to question you because you made us question you by your presence. It wasn't confident enough. في ضواحي نفسي أمشي تجاعيد أجدادي وأطوف شاماتهم باحثة عن زاوية أعتكف فيها على نفسي كصوفية أشبعه الإيمان أهرع لألتهم تمرتي الوحيدة أخالها محارة بلحة بحر وبتأني بحارة أفصل فلقتيها باحثة عن لب ما، فربما تفشي لي سرا مائلا عن لب الوجود. ولكن لبؤسي وهزل أوقاتي أجد أن عمي أبو كنان السمان قد أزال البذور هذه المرة. But while I was going for a run, because I went to this like really sketchy neighborhood by mistake, and then again I realized I feel really familiar there, even though it's like abandoned buildings and stuff. Like in the neighborhoods of myself, I walk on the wrinkles of my forefathers, and I revolve around their how do you call it, like this malls, looking for a corner where I can sit on my own like a Sufi who was full with his faith. Then I run to eat my only date, mahara, you know, like the animal in the sea that has a pearl inside.
Is it clams or oysters?
Yeah, I think it's an oyster or like yeah, a date of the sea, because like oysters in Arabic are called balah al-bahr, which means like dates of the sea. And then like I open it, and then I try to look for a core for existence, like some meaning that's hidden inside somewhere. And I say like, I hope that it will let me know about the slanted meaning of like the core of the world or the universe or existence. But because of my misery and the irony of my times, I find that Uncle Abu Kinan, which is like a random name that I gave to like a shop owner, he like Samman is like, it's just like I put it because it rhymes, like Abu Kinan is Samman. Samman means like shop owner, and like he took out the seeds this time out of the date, so I couldn't find the core of existence in the date. Like even though I looked for it so hard and I found the whole oyster and a date and I opened it, I didn't find anything waiting for me.